Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Liberty Show as we discuss hard topics from the perspective of freedom. I'm your favorite fat boy, Big Daddy Liberty, and in studio today I have Ian Cruickshanks, who has gracefully joined us. He's from the Center for Risk Analysis as their Chief Economist. Now, we're talking about PPI. Ian is looking at the numbers, looking at the data. Ian, what are we looking at? What is it telling us?
What we're looking at is maybe an idea that we shouldn't be carried away with negativity,
Right.
that perhaps there's a glimmer of light in the economic outlook. Why do I say that? Well, producer inflation leads consumer inflation.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing now is producer inflation in the last month came down to 4.5% from the previous month's 5.2. That's a 7-month low. What is the significance of that? Well, remember that the government's target range is 3 to 5. 4.5, which we just struck, is in the middle of that. So that's a good sign, if we can just keep it there. Can we? Well, the previous month we had sharp decreases in petrol and diesel, and we're going to have those again in January. We did have those again in January, so we can see the data getting even more favorable from an inflation outlook. What does it mean? Remember, inflation leads monetary policy.
That's right.
Does this mean that we can say, hey, if the situation would stay as it is, then there's a possibility we have good reasoning, good justification for a cut in the repo rate, bring interest rates down, the whole cost of living and cost of doing business is less.
Ian, you often talk about this, the idea that when inflation does go down, do those costs get them passed down, or really the benefits of it, are they passed down to the consumer? What do we know about this instance? Should consumers be expecting a drop in prices, or will the retailers and essentially the whole supply chain absorb not only the cost, they often make the case, that they have absorbed the cost and therefore wouldn't drop the price quite immediately. What do you think is going to happen in this instance?
What I think is it's about time that our consumer groups start being more definite, start being more insistent in saying, hey, when the price of petrol goes up, the cost of taxi fares goes up the same day.
That's right.
When the cost of petrol comes down, what else has changed? Only the fuel price. So let's have a proportionate cut in the cost of travelling there as well. Absolutely. So yes, the retailers and all those in that line do absorb some of that cost both ways, but nevertheless, it's an opportunity, I think, for consumers to be insistent that they need fair play.
Absolutely. Look, prices, as we know, are essentially a very efficient way of transmitting information to the market. So consumers need to be aware of that, and they need to, I suppose, speak up and ask questions, especially when prices don't fall, when things like PPI fall. Ian, last word. We're looking at PPI, as you said, dropping. Likely we'll see CPI maybe following that trend. Monetary policy, what should we perhaps expect?
I think we should look forward to some discussion at least. I think we should look forward to demands by government on the Reserve Bank to ease monetary policy, even if it's only marginally. And remember that everybody who owns a house has a mortgage. Most people who buy a motor car or motor vehicle of some sort have got it on extended terms. This will make a significant difference to the monthly cost, improve the cost of living, improve people's living standards.
Absolutely.
That's where we need to go.
Ian, thank you very much. There you go, you've heard it. Some glimmer of hope, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. As we know, people have been doomy and gloomy when it comes to the economic data in the country, again, for good reason. But, we should celebrate the few moments of good numbers when they start cropping up. Guys, welcome and thank you, rather, for tuning in to the Big Liberty Show. Stay tuned, more content coming your way. And as always, if you want to support the show, become a friend of the IRR. You can do that by SMSing your name to 32823. Or again, terms and conditions do apply. Or you can just sign up online at irr.org.za. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.